Hi, my name is Lee Fogel, Life and Breath Channel. Today I'm going to demonstrate the routine that I've used over the last 3 years every day, which has improved my lung function and quality of life significantly, in spite of the fact that I was diagnosed with advanced end-stage pulmonary fibrosis 5 years ago. And I was told that without a lung transplant, I had between 1 and 3 years of life expectancy remaining. I refuse to believe that. Lung health naturally declines as we age, with lung function reducing by approximately 1% per year after the age of 35 due to physiological aging. I'm 67. However, the presence of lung disease accelerates this decline significantly. Conditions such as pulmonary fibrosis, which I had, COPD, asthma, emphysema, and COVID-19 affect millions worldwide. Combine that with aging, and you have a bad set of ingredients for destroying quality of life. These diseases stem from various causes, including environmental factors, autoimmune responses, prolonged viral infections, and medication side effects. Although treatments exist to manage symptoms and moderately slow the disease progression of pulmonary fibrosis, for example, there are no known cures or proven methods to stop or reverse these conditions. Patients with lung diseases, particularly those over the age of 60, often face challenges such as reduced oxygenation, limited mobility, and declining quality of life. That results in low oxygen, fatigueness, weakness, deconditioning of your ability to do things, and shortness of breath. And those are accompanied and exacerbated by the passive, very shallow breathing and inactivity that often supplemental oxygen brings to us. This results in the stiffening of the muscles involved in the breathing, leading to a lower lung capacity and a downward cycle. My own inactivity early after being diagnosed and sent home with an oxygen tank, it led to severe inactivity, to significant loss of muscle, about 35 pounds, 2 pulmonary embolisms, greater fatigue, lower oxygen levels, and I couldn't walk to the bathroom without 6 liters of oxygen and just practically had help to do everything. Sitting on the sofa dying, I knew that I needed to reverse this downward spiral. So first I addressed my inflammation, primarily with diet. Then I began a moderate exercise program, which I gradually increased over a couple of years under the direction of pulmonologists, respiratory therapists, exercise physiologists, and my own personal diligent experimentation. And that has returned me back to a healthy and active lifestyle. I'm pretty much unlimited in what I can do, as long as I can carry an oxygen tank with me. Much of what this is written about in my book on my recovery. But today what I want to do is share with you a daily routine that I've developed that has given me significantly improved lung function as measured by my pulmonologist. I still require oxygen, but it is my superpower. I walk every day 4 to 5 miles. I additionally do another 1 to 2 hours of exercise. I hike, I bike, I paddleboard, I golf, I pickleball. All those things give me a very full quality of life. I'm the only 67-year-old guy in the gym carrying an oxygen tank, but I can do more than folks half my age. So what I'm going to share with you now are a set of 3 things that I do every day that have expanded my lung capacity, improved the flexibility and strength of my breathing muscles, and I do them twice a day, every day. I will not go to bed without doing my exercises early in the evening, and I will not start my day until I've done these exercises. It's vital, and I've been doing them daily twice a day for over 3 years now, and I believe that they are the secret to my amazing health, in spite of still having the lung disease. So here we go. Let's get into the exercises. I want you to think of your lungs as this balloon, okay? Sort of like this balloon. Now, this balloon it's been sitting there for a while, and it's not been stretched out, and so it's kind of stuck together. You can see some places where it's all stuck together. If you've ever left a balloon out in the sun or something, you see that they just get all gunked up and stuck together, and you've got to stretch them out in order to get air in them and expand them to their full size. What happens to us when we get a lung disease, we've got some scarring of the alveoli and the lung tissues, and it may cause a contracting, and actually in my case it was called lung distortion, where my right lung was distorted in shape due to that. Okay, so when we start to try to breathe, we now have limited amount of area for the air to get down into those spaces. So what partly controls the ability for the lungs to expand is the fact that they're connected to the wall of the chest, and the chest wall is connected to the intercostal ribs and rib muscles and the myofascial tissue. So when we stop breathing deeply, those things, the lungs don't get expanded. They may get worse and more contracted, and that's one of the reasons for the deterioration and the continual decline that many folks with lung disease experience. So what we've got to do is we've got to stretch those lung tissues out so that, see, if I just had blown air lightly into this, it's not going to do much. What we want to do is bring air with deeper pressure down into the deepest part. The most alveoli rich portion of the lung is the lower lobes of the lung. So we want to be able to go so that's the principle that we're working with. How do we expand those lungs so that we can stretch them out? There is tissue in there that's capable of doing oxygen exchange, and we're not getting air into it because the lungs have collapsed almost, or they've contracted. So the purpose of these exercises is to expand those lungs, expand that lung tissue so that we can get air into those alveoli-rich portions of the lung throughout. And that's what we're going to start now with. When a baby breathes, the natural way that we're supposed to breathe, they show us that. The abdomen extends and then collapses during the exhalation. It extends. Watch your animal, watch your pet breathe. Same thing, extension of the abdomen. In life, as stress and various other types of physical dysfunction occur, people tend to forget that method of breathing and begin to breathe in the upper chest, raising the shoulders and neck, and forgetting about that deep diaphragm, which is designed to draw the air with pressure deep into the lungs, into the part of the lung where the most oxygen gas exchange can occur. Furthermore, the rib muscles, as we've said, become stiff and weak, and as a result, our rib cage no longer expands and flexes as it was designed. It's stiff and weak. The exercises we're going to now walk through will show us how to properly engage the proper breathing muscles and improve the flexibility and strength of all the breathing muscles, as well as the intercostal rib muscles. It'll give you an expanded chest cavity, which will help us to expand that balloon and draw air into that part of the lungs. Now, for the first exercises, I call these, borrowed the name from the Shanghai Pulmonary Hospital, which did this study. I call them the Shanghai 3 exercises. They were derived in a study done by the Shanghai Pulmonary Hospital, where they studied 150 patients with pulmonary fibrosis over a multi-year period. And they developed exercises to improve lung function. The patients who followed these exercises over a 6-month and a 12-month and an 18-month period demonstrated a very high effectiveness in maintaining and actually improving lung function. The quality control group, who did not follow any exercises, the non-exercise group, actually declined in function, while the exercise group improved the 4 key measures of lung function. The efficacy of these exercises are equivalent to or greater than the efficacy of the current pharmaceutical interventions on the market today, which say that they will prevent the progression or slow the progression of lung disease. These exercises do the same thing and the same level of efficacy. So it's a double whammy if you do them with the medications you're taking. I have personally used these exercises exclusively rather than drugs to dramatically reverse my lung decline and improve diminished lung function. Now, the link to the study, if you want to go through the detail of that, is in the descriptions in this. But let's start now with the exercises. So the beginning of my day after meditation, after getting my head exercised and my spirit right, I stand up and I do these exercises. It's an upper body from the waist up exercise, so you're not going to get to see my legs. But anyway, so the exercises are 3. The first exercise is the hands down beside your side, okay, down beside your side. They can be facing outward or facing inward. I like them facing outward. And we're going to breathe in deeply and slowly as we raise our hands. It's not a fast movement. You may count to 5 on that in-breath as you raise them. And it's like this. Breathe out as you go down slowly. Something you'll hear me do, I hum on the exhale because I want to use important things here are only nasal breathe. You want to breathe in through your nose, okay? In through your nose. That pressurizes the air, warms and humidifies the air, and cleanses the air, okay? It's very important. It creates enough pressure to drive the air deep down into the lungs. Open mouth breathing will hyperventilate you and will not get air into the deepest part of your lungs. So we want to breathe in through the nose. When I exhale, you'll hear me hum. There's a reason for that. There's a study in the NIH, multiple studies on this, the power of nitric oxide to improve vasodilation, lower blood pressure, and improve many health metrics. But nitric oxide is very important. And where is it created most? It's in the nasal passages, in this part, in your sinuses. So it's been shown that nasal humming, that vibration, releases more nitric oxide. 15 times the nitric oxide is released through nasal humming. So I do nasal humming a lot when I'm walking. If I don't have oxygen with me, I can use it then. I do it before I take my blood pressure and watch my blood pressure go down, because it does expand your blood vessels. But so here's what my first exercise, the first exercise of the Shanghai 3 looks like. It's in, Now, in that exercise, it's important that you're breathing from the diaphragm. I use my oxygen when I do this. And I'm talking a lot, so I may make off a little bit. Pardon me. Anyway, so, and I do the nasal hum on the out breath. Okay, so that's the first of the 3 exercises. You want to feel that expansion. You want to feel that stretch as you go up slowly. Okay, and second exercise is we're going to do it one side at a time, either right or left, and we're going to left hand stays down, right hand goes up, and we're going to stretch as high as we can, stretching those intercostal rib muscles and breathing in as we stretch up. So I do not do the exhale hum on this one for different reasons, but anyways, it's a nice slow stretch, breathing into that side of the lung, to that particular lung. Other side. Now, in terms of numbers, the first exercise, this one, I do 21 of those, okay? And the second exercise, I do 10 to 11 on each side. So it's about 20 to 22 repetitions, 10 on each side, okay? The third of these exercises is hands not tight laced, but fingers lightly laced behind the head. You're not pulling the head. We don't want to pull the head or the neck or anything like that. You're just touching the back of your head lightly. And I call this the chicken wing, okay? But it's arms up like this. I'll give you a side view. And you're going to start in the down position and breathe up. This one is going to expand more of the upper chest and the bronchial airways when you do this one. So this one, while we do breathe from the bottom, we are going to feel it most in the upper chest. And we're going to start in the down position and then I do hum on this one. And I'll show you from the side. Okay, I do 21 of those. I'm already starting to work up a little bit of a sweat. Kind of warm here in South Carolina today, and I got 2 shirts because I was walking in the cold this morning. Now I'm going to show you 2 other devices that I use immediately after those exercises. I'm going to use these 2 breathing devices. Okay, the first one is, it's called the breather, and it is sold on Amazon and everywhere. They sell a lot of these for athletes and for lung disease patients. And it's designed to allow you to strengthen your inhale and your exhale. Okay, and as you can see, it's got little numbers on the side of where one side is for the inhale, and one side's for the exhale. Okay, and you set these numbers. You can start low or medium and see what that works for you. But so on this exercise, you're trying to draw in with a massive, expansive breath to pull air in against resistance, okay, which will strengthen your diaphragm. And you want to breathe in as deeply and as long as you can. And then you're going to blow out that air. Again, you're going to blow out until your abdomen is going to collapse completely back to, try to touch your belly button to your spine, okay? And you're going to collapse it and blow all the air out. So it looks kind of like this. It's a nice slow in-breath. Takes several seconds to get a full expansion, okay? And then you immediately blow the air back out. You're having, only unfortunate things on these exercises is they can't be done with just the nose, so you're having to use your mouth for breathing here. Okay, you want to keep this washed. Wash it frequently so you don't get a buildup of gunk or saliva in it that may cause you to bring toxins or pollutants into your lungs, okay? So I do this exercise 15 times. Immediately after I've done the Shanghai 3, I'm going to use this 15 times, okay? I'm going to feel that complete emptying of air. I'm going to feel the complete filling of air slowly, okay? I'm going to feel my rib muscles expand as I do that. Once I've done that one, I get this one. These devices are used in hospitals. This is called an incentive spirometer. There's two different versions of them. I've got this version is the 5,000 milliliter version. Pardon me. But I graduated from that. When I first started doing these, I could barely get 3,000 milliliters, 3 liters. And then I began to peg it. So I bought the next version, which is a 6,000 milliliter version. And now I can get all the way up to the top of it also. So I do about 15 exercises using this. They're used in hospitals after a chest surgery or lung problems, pneumonia, whatever. You can see on the bottom, it's got your name and room number of your hospital and that sort of thing. So it's a well-used device, and it's sort of gamified in that you've got to keep that little yellow ball up in the happy zone. It's a smiley face. So you don't want to breathe in too deep and quick. You're not trying to do a maximum inhale. And this is only for the inhalation, okay? You take your mouth, and I take it out of my mouth when at the end of an inhalation, okay? And I'll show you how that's done, but you want to keep that little yellow ball in the center, which means you're breathing at a nice, slow, moderate pace. And you'll see this go up here, and it's got a little handy little thing to measure where you were last time. As you can see, my maximum this morning was at 6,000 milliliters. So here we go. You want to empty all the air out of your lungs and then bring it in slowly. My first one will not be all the way to the top. It'll take a few times to get the hang of it. You're supposed to hold about 5 seconds after you take the full inhalation. If you notice on the second one, I got a little higher. So don't be discouraged. Sometimes you got to just get the hang of it. You want to have empty lungs and not pre-breathe. You want to start the breath after your mouth is on this device. And so I'll show you from the side. Show you from this side so you can see the ball going out. As you can see, I sort of messed up the second one. So I'm got a lot of pressure on the people who are watching and making sure I do it right. But anyway, I do this 15 times in the morning. So 3 Shanghai 3, 15 times here, 15 times here. My last lung pulmonary function test, I had gone from a 32% DLCO, measure of gas permeability, to over 52% predicted DLCO, means 60-some% improvement. My forced vital capacity had gone from somewhere around, I guess the last one had been, I started out at 28% for forced vital capacity a few years ago. My forced vital capacity in the summer of last year was 52%. Most recently, it was 74%. All of those, the data from my test is on my website, and I've got links to all those documents I'll put in here. So if you don't believe me, you can go look at the pulmonology reports. You can look at the CT scan readings where they say I've got advanced end stage lung disease with ground glass opacities, honeycombing, architectural distortions, pulmonary embolisms, all the hard stuff. But I'm here to tell you that's not the end of the journey. The end of the journey is a long time from now for me. I continue to do these exercises every day. There is not a day, I'm just not going to allow myself to miss a day with these things. If you want to live and you want to resume an active and normal life, 10 minutes in the morning. Just do them once a day if you can, if you have to. Just start with once a day. That's 10 minutes of your day to improve your quality of life. And this, let me tell you folks, this stuff works. I can't guarantee you, but you know what? I'll give you your money back if it doesn't. And how much did it cost you for watching this? Nothing. This is what I do. I'm retired. I don't need to make money by selling products. I don't sell products like this. They make their own money on that. I don't sell products. I do this because this helps me live, stay alive, and share the good news of what I've experienced. So thanks for watching. If you like this stuff, give me a thumbs up and give me and subscribe to my channel. And I post lots of videos on things I do to maintain pulmonary health. Thanks a lot.